Don't you know, girl? Don't you know, girl? I am the one for you.
It's me, Saskia. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I do apologise for my voice in this video, and I do apologise for the way I look and are dressed at the moment. I am getting sick, and my voice is not cooperating with me today. So yeah, my hair is wet because I just got out of the shower, so I apologise for that too. The reason why I'm not filming a Sims 4 video is because I was losing subscribers from filming a Sims 4 video, and I honestly felt so bad, so I am back with the story time. So this didn't happen too long ago. This happened probably about like a few weeks ago, to be honest, and I'll just tell you the story. So I came home after school, and I have a friend who lives up my road, and his name is Tom, and he is one of my best friends, and he's been my best friend since 7th grade. And yeah, so pretty much because he moved schools not too long ago, we try to see each other as much as we can, since like we've got school and assignments and everything. So we try and see each other as much as we can, because of course we're close mates. So one afternoon he texted me and said, "Hey, do you want to hang out?" And I said, "Yeah, of course I'll hang out with you, etc. Like, yeah, let's go." So we met up and we went to walk around Coles, which is an Australian grocery store, and because we like to get food. And anyway, we were walking around because I live not in a sketchy area. Like, I live in a pretty safe area, but there is a sketchy street just down the road where Eshays live, and I will give you a definition of an Australian Eshay. An Australian Eshay is someone who wears a long shirt, hats, chains, carries knives around with them, and carries around weed and cocaine, and they're always high and they're always drunk, and they're just someone you don't want to mess with because they'll probably kill you. So I've dated an Eshay before, and it was probably the worst mistake of my life, and then eventually he broke up with me after a month, and now I've met someone better. So anyway, so Tom and I were walking around, and then we heard like coming behind us, like really fast steps. And knowing as me, I have like a sixth sense, so I knew something was going wrong. So I looked behind me and I saw this Eshay, and he was very tall, golden chain. He had weed spots. So like weed spots is when you do weed, obviously you get like a little acne on your face. So he had those. And then he like had a really long shirt on. He had those like Nike 97s that all the like boys are wearing at the moment. Anyway, he was walking past and he spat onto the ground and he walked. And I knew that he was either A, gonna rob us, or B, like walk past us. So I put all my valuables, like my phone, my keys, and my earphones, into my pocket, getting ready to be like robbed, and he walked past us really fast, giving us a dirty look. And I thought, okay, cool. But at first, Tom, when I whispered to Tom, I said, there's a dodgy guy behind us. He was like, no, don't worry about it, it's fine. I went, nah, look at the pace he's walking. So yeah. Then he walked over to this guy in a orange Hy-Vee vest, and if you don't know what a Hy-Vee vest, it's something that builders wear, and it's like bright orange or bright yellow or bright pink. So this guy's wearing a bright orange Hy-Vee shirt across the road, and he had a backpack with him. And this guy, who was of course wearing the chain and the hat, who walked past us, walked over to that guy across the road, and they were searching through his bag, and then they started freaking out. And then the guy in the Hy-Vee shirt stood up and walked over to us, and I thought, Tom, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. Anyway, he walked over to us and he said, "Hey, did you see a pouch anywhere?" But he said it in a really intimidating voice. And he said, "Hey, did you see a pouch anywhere?" And I just looked, I didn't say anything. I had so much fear over me. Think of your idea of scared times 10. That's what I was feeling. I was shaking. Anyway, and then pretty much Tom said, no, we didn't, etc. And then he said, pulled out his pockets, and then he the guy expected me to pull out my pockets, but I was just paralyzed in fear. And the guy reached his pocket, and then you could hear a switchblade noise, and I'm like, Plus, I was wearing my school uniform too, so of course the guy now knows where I go to school. So I kind of freaked out in that moment. And then we said, we can help you find it. And then he's like, no, sorry. And he was obviously talking about drugs that the guy obviously had dropped. So then he let us go, thank God. And I was walking with Tom back, and in that moment I was thinking, let's run. But what happens, the last time I ran away from a situation like that, I got chased. As I made a story time about a year ago about that. So yep, I kind of learnt from my mistakes to stand up to your fears and not run, because that will be even scarier. So as soon as we got behind the corner, Tom and I gassed it, we started running. And then we ended up going to the park that's just by his house. It's like a 5-minute walk away from my house. So we were sitting there and we were talking about what happened. And then it started to get dark, because my mum said, you have to be home before dark, etc. And I said, yeah, fine. Anyway, and then it started to get dark, and I said, hey, I'm going to head home now. And we said goodbye. And then I walked home. I also started to get a bit scared, because obviously where I live, if you're a teenage girl by yourself, it's obviously very intimidating. But again, I live in a safe area, so once you get into my area, you can feel safe. But when you're just outside of my area, it's a bit scary. So when I was walking home, I saw a guy in that orange Hy-Vee vest, and he shouted, "Oi!" across, and I ran. I know I said that I wouldn't run and stand up for my fears, but I honestly couldn't. I started running, and this guy started running after me. I dived into a bush, and he ran straight past me, and I got out, and I sprinted home. I don't think I've ever run so fast in my life, but I got home, and I told my mum what happened, and she told me to call the police. So I called the police, obviously, and the lady was very rude. She wasn't helping me at all. She kind of didn't believe me. She said, yeah, I'll notify an officer, whatever. But I don't think she did, because I didn't hear any police sirens, nothing. And I kind of found that a bit disrespectful, because if you're part of the police, your job is to protect your citizens, and she wasn't doing her job. And I can't remember what her name was, but it was like Karen or something, but obviously I wouldn't be surprised if her name was Karen. Anyway, that's my story of how I got jumped with my friend. Honestly, it was probably one of the most scariest experiences of my life. But also there's an add-on to this story too. Sunday afternoon or morning, I think it was morning actually, it was like 11 a.m. Sunday morning, I went to go shopping for a friend's birthday, present. And I went into Kmart, I bought my friend's birthday present, and I walked out of Kmart, which is, if you guys don't know what Kmart is, it's a store, it has everything, it's great. I walked out of Kmart, I walked out of all these other stores where I got her stuff from, like Lavisa and all that, and cosmetic stores and everything. That's what I walked out of. And I came out of the shopping centre, and there was the guy. He was standing right there, and he was in a black beanie, and he was in all black, and he did this thing where he spits. He did it last time, and he did the exact same thing. He spat, and he was wearing the same chain, and he looked at me, and we were making eye contact for probably at least 3 seconds, and I had a panic attack. I literally had to sit down and breathe, and people came over and said, "Are you okay?" And I couldn't even talk out of fear, and this guy smirked and walked off. I couldn't breathe, because all I could think in my head was the guy's green switchblade and hearing the switchblade noise in his pocket. And eventually my mum picked me up and told me it was okay, but I have never had such a worse panic attack in my life. I think it's just the fact where I got so scared, and then I saw something that scared me even more, and that's what kind of set it off. But at the same time, I had people around me, nothing could have happened, but it's just it just triggered that for me in a way. I don't really know how to explain it, but thanks, Mum. No, but in a way, it just really scared me. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to my story time of how I got jumped. I actually have quite a few terrifying story times, which I'll have to tell. I apologise for the way I look today. I feel so ill, but I had to make a video just because I think it would be a bit mean if I don't. since that I'm going to September and I won't be uploading for a month and a half, I think I really should upload, so yeah. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Stay happy, stay safe and stay kawaii, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.